Hello everyone and welcome back to part number 2 of our Southag preview. And if you don't want to miss the rest, consider subscribing down below. Thanks to all of you for the support. And yeah, let's get into here with the first of the 3 Czechoslovakian divisions here. And this one is 303 and it's kind of my favorite. That's why we go in here first, because I'm a bit of a stickler for weird reservist divisions, and this one is a really odd one, as it is our first tank reservist division. And as you just saw there with the T-34, it has some weird little units, including this supply vehicle here, the Sazobovaci BAV 485, which is basically something like a Dookie. So World War II era kind of vehicle, though obviously a bit modernized here. Even has the safety standards here on front, and can hurl a decent amount of 500 supply here, and is amphibious obviously. So decent speed there as well. This is a solid little unit for supply, but the normal trucks here are coming around for you as well. 750 supply here, and we also got a big T815 with 3000 supplies in the bag to really get your artillery going. And then we have the Czech half-tracks here, the last remaining half-tracks around, kinda based on the German half-tracks of World War II. The OT-810R2 here with a medium machine gun on top, and yeah, just outside of that being a normal 2 frontal armor CV here. Pretty cheap, 35 points, 8 hit points, okay speed, but yep, 2 availability here for these guys. Then you got an OT-62 with an MG on top as well here in this little turret, and yeah, 10 hit points, 2 frontal armor, 40 points, slightly slower off-road, and you get your classic little Jeep variant here with the UATs 469 as a 3 availability, and the OT-65 as a 3 availability CV with more price though as well. And then the PMZ as your field supply point variant. Infantry is bringing some juicy stuff as well. Slots are somewhat limited. It's a tank division, so that's to be expected, but we're gonna have juicy amount of infantry here nonetheless, as you're gonna see in a minute. You have a 7.6mm MG here with optics on top, 30% accuracy here for these guys. I'm actually not sure if that's different to others. Looks pretty dope though. And then we have the Thai, which is the military police, which look pretty cool with their little helmet there. And they also come in a Thai truck here, in a little camper van with military police on top as well, or a UATS variant that does the military police thingy too. Then we have the Velital, which is the first little militia leader here. And they come with a really old recoilless rifle, 1025 meter range, 35% accuracy, 13 pen, HE damage as well, 6 rounds. So militia and reservist leader have the security trait though. The Ludova militia here being militia and reservist as well. So the 2 weakest stats possible, like the KDA, for example. And they come with an RPG 75 here, which is a pretty terrible RPG. It is at least rapid fire, and it has decent range. Accuracy and pen though pretty weak. So those are the issues there. As a security unit on the side, they still can work out 8 hit points, have a medium machine gun, an assault rifle, so 12 availability. If you need to have something to hold the sides, they still kind of do the job as a roadblock, but that's about it. And then we have more reservists coming in here with the next Velitel, Zalozhniki. Yeah, this is where I kind of struggle, guys. Let me know down below how to pronounce this, please. I will try to butcher as little as possible in the casts, I promise. But yeah, if you're Czechoslovakian, let me know down below, please, on how to get to Založníku, I guess. And we have the UATs, we have the OT-64, OT-64C, which has an KPVT instead of the Dushka. We have seen these with the Polish before, and the PKT here with the turret variant. And then OT-62s with the MG and the OT-62B with a recoilless rifle here. The 82mm recoilless rifle on top of the turret as well. So with a bit of anti-vehicle firepower, helpful against other APCs. Not so helpful against anything above that, but against other APCs this can be nice, and it also gives you a bit of anti-infantry stopping power. So these OT-62Bs actually could be quite interesting. Then we have the Saloshniki, or Saloshnitsi? Nitsi, I guess. Saloshnitsi with Scorpion, the medium machine gun, assault rifle, RPG 75, so the weak RPG. They can come in the OT-62B with the Tarashnitsi T-21 as well, and with the turreted OT-64. 10 hit point unit, Reservist as well, 35 points, really cheap. They Scorpion medium machine gun mix, not that great. Weak anti-tank rocket launcher, so at least they have one. So yeah, pretty okay. And then we have the Soloshnitsi T-21, and this one is where it gets interesting, as this is a 16-man squad with double machine gun. They cost you 75 points per tick, so they are pretty heavily priced as well, but they are 16-man squad, so they are humongous. And they come with the Tarasnitsi T-21 here, which is pretty capable, and yeah, 30% accuracy on that one with the Reservist trait. It's not that great against vehicle, but with double anti-vehicle capability, they at least can stand down everything. And yeah, giving the extra infantry firepower is the more key part here. 12 rounds as well, so they have ammo to stick around. As they're a big squad, they get 8 ammo on the anti-tank rocket launcher as well. So as they're basically a double squad, kinda. Yeah, these guys can just go around, can get stunned down quite quickly and then lose a lot of firepower, but they are hard to kill, so in drawn-out fights, these guys gonna be super annoying to deal with. And yeah, hard to kill off as well. Even with artillery or so, they can survive a good bit. So yeah, these are the chunky squads here in this deck. Velitel Motostrelci with Strelas and Smoke. That's a nice squad. And the infantry fighting power is not that great, but 7 hit points is nice as well. So it's a bit, can come in the OT-62B and the BVP-1 with the Malyutka M on top. Motostrelci can only come in the BVP-1 and the OT-62A, but decent squad as well, double MG, so closer to the East German one. Weak RPG, not as good as the one of the East Germans, or the Soviets, but the double MG gives them a decent amount of firepower, can come with 1 vet as well. These guys here actually can come with 1 level of veterancy as well, so they are not half bad there either, and the availability is pretty good too. Then you have the Panzerovniki with double RPG 7VL, so decent defensive power there as well, and they come with an OT-62D, and that one is pretty dope because it has the small recoilless rifle in the front, but it also has the long range 82mm one in the rear of it, so at 1025 meter range it can just double fire these plus the MG. So this actually has a good amount of firepower, 40 points. Really interesting little unit. No smoke, that's the big issue here, but the double recoilless rifle is pretty cool here. And a nice little unit there. The Cheniste with the satchel charge and a lot of scorpions. Okay, little engineer, not the greatest, but it's pretty priced, well priced for what it does. 35 points, that's decent, so yeah, you could consider them. It's just the slots here are a bit rough. And then you have the recoilless rifle with the recoilless rifle transport for recoilless rifle galore. 3 recoilless rifles for in 1 card. So That's going to be interesting. And then we have the volatile Streltsy and the Streltsy next to them with RPG 7VL. So this is where the good RPG goes. And this is also a 9-man squad. So this is a pretty capable squad as well. Like the Czech infantry in this deck, Czechoslovakian infantry, is pretty capable. OT62B here. I always have to worry to not forget about the Slovakians, guys. To all Slovaks, I'm sorry when I only say Czechs. You are meant as well. OT64C here coming around as well. KPVT, PKT coming around too. And yeah, solid little unit. And the transport variant between the OT64 and the OT62 is quite nice as well, that you can choose so often between these here, which one you want to take. So that's quite nice. Artillery, no Danas in this deck. They're gonna be in the other ones, don't you worry. You get 82mm rock mortars. You get a old M30 World War II relic howitzer, or 22mm. Solid rate of fire though. Range is absolutely terrible, but the rate of fire is great, and that's a good part. The availability here, 4-2. All artillery with 4 base availability it now has 4-2-1 instead of 4-3-2. So rip D30. Yeah, so that's a bit rough, but it is how it is. And then we have 152mm old World War II howitzer here as well, with 15 kilometers range, 3 rate of fire. Pretty expensive if you compare that to what the Canadians have with just 1 kilometer less range. Like 110 points, quite pricey here. So not the biggest fan of this. And then we have this little rocket machine here, which looks pretty interesting. Not gonna lie. The RMVS 81 coming around here with the GROF and 130mm rockets, 96 of them, firing 32 per salvo, so having 2 reloads on its own. And yeah, not the greatest of range. 130mm rockets are not the best either, but 32 salvo is pretty fine. And if you push them around, this could be interesting. You also just get the 122mm rocket launcher on the RM70 that we already know from the East Germans though. So this might just be the better variant here. 40 salvo length, 1 reload stacked below. And yeah, this just does the job as well. Tank tap is where the sexy is at, as you get 2 cards of T-3485s, and then you get the ST-100s on top. T-3485, same stats as with these Germans. Pretty mediocre. The 8 hit points kind of hurt. Otherwise, I would be fine with these guys for now at 30 points. I just wish they would be 10 hit points. But yeah, they can duel quite nicely with APCs and even IFVs. 6 frontal armor is nice. And they have decent HE output there as well. This thing here is the more impactful one though, I believe. Like, I believe you only end up with 1 card of T-34 plate and then put those in front of the SD-100s here, which actually have good penetration. 16 pen at 1925 meter range, that's like T-34 level. And you have a pretty bad accuracy, but you have good rate of fire. And it's dirt cheap. 7 frontal armor is pretty good as well. So this thing is actually priced to move in my eyes. Has mediocre stealth as well. It's a tank destroyer after all. So the SD-100 here, this is quite something. I think this we will see quite a lot of. The anti-tank guns here, this one being basically on par stats-wise, just with the better accuracy here. Going up to 45 instead of the 40 minus Reservist here. It's going down to 35. This anti-tank gun here at 45% accuracy as well. 14 pen. Both are at 10 rounds per minute. This also can be used as a howitzer. So that is pretty interesting. Can be used as a makeshift artillery piece, giving this a good amount of versatility, though the howitzer part doesn't deal the greatest of damage. But it's a 1mm howitzer, so yeah, this interesting little unit here as well. A mix of anti-tank and artillery piece. Malyutka, yeah, that's what we know. This is fine. The slow flying missiles can still scare the enemy away, and that's the only ATGM vehicle here you get. You also don't get any ATGMs in the infantry tab, so ATGMs here in this deck, this is all you get outside of BMP ones. So yeah, the Malyutkas really are worth something here in this deck. And then you get 2 cards of T-64Bs, which are pretty capable. 65 points, a lot of firepower, good frontal armor. It might even just be the mix of these two here. Like, you get a lot of vehicles, you get a lot of armor coming at the enemy. And like, you can go up to 68 tanks. Plus, you get a T-72 ME2 card without smoke. So this is basically the same as in the Polish deck. 155 points nowadays. And that's pretty capable as well. Can be put in front of these guys as well. Can even come with solid veterancy. And you get a B card, and then you are up to 77 tanks here in the tank tab alone. It's not all great tanks, but it's 77 tanks that can come around towards the enemy. And they actually have decent firepower. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting little division. Recon tab gets you a couple more tanks here, as we finally get something to rival the M1A1, something powerful for Soviet tanks as well. Not as bad as the T-64s in 25th. No, we now got Recon T-3485. Good optics at the 5 points. You still gotta bring these, I think, with the tank blob. It's good optics there, can be helpful. Though the other units here are important as well. You get your militia recon here for 15 points. This is very good optics unit still for very good for 15 points. That's quite nice. Like, really discount recon just moving around. So actually quite nice. You get the OT-65 with exceptional optics. This is a key unit to push around with your tank tab as well. And then you get a good optics one with the Reconnaissance rifle on top. I don't think you really want to play this. The Reconnaissance rifle is not worth that much. And if you want to have the big Reconnaissance rifle with more range, you have this thing with good optics as well. Though this one has good stealth, this one doesn't. So you get the better Reconnaissance rifle, but you lose the stealth. So I think this is still better than this. But I don't think you really want to bring either, as the slots are pretty limited as well. So I think these 3 units here might be it. And then you have the Push Kumnitsi with 4 hit points, classic 4 hit point unit. They also come in an OT-65, though even though it has it on the picture here, that's a bit of a mistake. It doesn't have any weapons. And the Mod Push Kumnitsi, which have a solid RPG 7 VM, is the same as the Polish have, with 14 pen. And yeah, they can come in an MG OT 810 half track here. So that one having good optics as well. If you want to have a good optics vehicle, I think you take this instead of this. But yeah, that's just the options here. Decent recon tab, not great, but you have an exceptional optics vehicle. You have a cheap, very good optics option. You have a tank. Yeah, it's kind of what you need to have around. AA, interesting tab as well. You start with Strala 2Ms, not the greatest, range still an issue. Can come in around in the UVATs, can come at 1 vet. Yeah, it's a manpad. If you need a manpad, you can bring them around. You have the quadruple 50 cal on par with the Maxence of the Dutch and the Belgians that we got in the DivMob and CLKA. So they are solid fire support against infantry. They are not great against helicopters. And for 30 points, they're now also priced at a point where they're not that great against as infantry support either. There's only 9 speed, so they can be artilleried away quite quickly. They can be overrun by vehicles. Like, they are decent to stop enemy infantry squads, but that's about it. Though you still might want to bring one. You get a double 30mm here though, for 35 points. That's the maybe more interesting unit, as this also has 2650 meter range against helicopters. It has terrible accuracy, but the good range against helicopter means that the enemy helicopter will get scared away quite quickly. And with double and a good rate of fire here on the 30mm, the salvo length is not that long, so it has to reload quite often. Yeah, this might be something. I haven't really tested it enough yet to say how good this is, but I'm interested to see how well it will perform. You can also push it up to 4-vet with 3-vet with still getting 4 availability, so this is interesting. You then get the 57mm AA, which is a good bit more potent against helicopters, I would say, but yeah, not that much more important against infantry, or weaker even there. And then you have the 130mm, which still struggles against helicopters, not having 2,800-meter range there. If it would have that, it could be interesting. Can be used against ground targets with long range as well, but no AT. So this is not an anti-tank mix, that's why it's 60 points. Can't stop tanks really, but it can be used as long direct fire support. So it's such a big target there, I'm not sure how much worth that is. And then we have the Yestercar, which we will see a lot of, with the big magazines here, and a good 30mm gun. It's a double 30mm gun, so it's actually the same here, right? Like, yeah, these. So I think this is actually gonna be pretty good. Yeah, same stats. Just carrying a bit less ammo. As this one is performing pretty well. I think this one will be pretty good against infantry as well. I have played a lot with these. These are pretty good. And they are getting around. They currently don't have motionless accuracy. Wait, moving accuracy. I think they should get 5% there. It's a bit weird, but yeah, subject to change. And outside of this does the job here of hitting the enemy helicopters hard, and yeah, can be good as infantry fire support as well. Crook coming around with the big missiles as always. You only get one card, but that's good long range AA. One-shotting anything it hits, and eventually it will hit. But one card is a bit scary. If it's the only long range AA you get, so if these die, you are in trouble. So you really have to be careful with them, and you can't really upvet them in this deck. You need the 3 you get. So yeah, you're pretty well equipped against normal helicopters. Against long range helicopters, you will struggle as well against the 2,800-meter range, because you don't really have anything to hit back there. Crew can't do that either. And against aircraft, you are in a bit of trouble here with the AA tab. Helicopters bring you the Me-4Bs, which come up with a lot of rockets, and this little gun turret down here. 6 hit point helicopter, really slow. The first Me-4s we see around. And this one here is pretty interesting. Really big rocket pods. I think this is quite capable. 100 points though, so these are pretty expensive as well. Me-4Bs here, coming around. Yeah, 6 hit point rockets, gunships, and the slow speed is kind of punishing for them. And then we have an interesting ad tab with a lot of choices, but not a lot of slots. With 3 different L39s, one even with some R13Ms here put under it. As a makeshift multi-role fighter. Has the 23mm gun here in the front nose as well, so this actually can be okay as a head-on fighter. 5 damage on the R13Ms, so accuracy and range not that great. Has the G-Bomber variant is pretty good as well for 50 points. The rocket one is fine too. We have MiG-21 MF rockets, HEs 1 and HE 2 with 500 kilogram bombs. This one's gonna be scary. And yeah, this one actually carries R60Ms here. So multi-role MiG-21 MF. That's kind of new as well. The small bombs, though, only good against small infantry targets, but can help out against helicopters. And this one is actually gonna nuke a lot of things. It's 465 points, so this is pretty scary. Napalm one has normal bombs as well. It's okay, but as it's the same price as this is just better. And then we have a cluster bomber as well, 240 points. This is the one we know, I believe. Like it's the same kind of stats as the one we know from 6 Motostrelki, and it's fantastic there. 2 500 kilogram Chrysler plus 250 will kill anything. That is armored and will even deal decently well with infantry. Could even split it if you turn it off, but yeah, that would be a bit of micro, and not sure if it's really worth to try to make 2 runs with this. Usually it gets hit in the first run anyway and at least pushed back or killed, but if you put it on an M1A1, that's still worthwhile. MiG-21 MF AA2 with R13Ms and one here with R13Ms and R3Rs. Interesting little mix here. R60M plus R13M with 6 missiles. Here it's only 4 missiles. They're both okay. The R60M one, I think, it might be the better one, as the slightly better range, but no fire and forget on the R3Rs. I'm not sure if that's worth it. SU-22 M4AT coming around. It's the one with the KH-29, so really good. And the SU-22 rocket with big 122mm rockets, a lot of them. A hell of a lot of them. So this is an interesting little rocket plane here as well. So yeah, this is the 303rd. A really cool new Reservist deck. And as I said, in my eyes, pretty unique in being the first armored Reservist deck. So quite excited to see how this plays. I'm a bit scared of these guys, I'm not gonna lie. I hope it's not quite the new diff mob situation, though I don't believe it will be. Like, the AA tab is a weakness. You can stop the air, and I don't think the tanks are quite as good as the ones we had there, though it's the numbers here that still are a bit scaring me. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. No forward deploy here in this one either, so yeah. I don't think it will be diff mob situation. I think it will be a decently viable division though, and I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I'm excited for any interesting new Reservist division. I'm a stickler for that. Let me know down below if you feel the same way, and see you all in the next one.